I think the story that stands out the most to me is the story of the man whose brother died of colon cancer. I met his brother 2 years ago when I diagnosed his brother with colon cancer, and it was metastatic colon cancer. And I explained to the man at the time, "You need a colonoscopy." And he explained to me that he didn't have insurance. A few months later, we developed this program, and he was the first guy on my mind of someone that was out there just really living in fear that he had colon cancer, and he would lose a pound or two, and he would come into the office and tell me that he was worried that he may have cancer too. This program allowed us to screen him and give him the peace of mind that colonoscopies and colon cancer screening in general usually gives people.
When we meet with patients to talk about screening, initially they're a little bit nervous and hesitant because they've heard lots of horror stories. Most people are not really excited about having to do the colon prep, but there's been a lot of advances in colon preps lately, and it's not nearly as bad as what it used to be. And then now that anesthesia helps us with our colonoscopies, the procedure is relatively pain-free, and patients are much more willing to undergo the procedure.
I think this program should continue. It's a benefit to our patients, particularly patients that are at high risk of colon cancer and patients who are at high risk of not getting screening otherwise. I think it's pretty clear there's a discrepancy in, depending on insurance levels, about whether patients get appropriate screening. There are racial disparities in colon cancer screening that need to be overcome, and beyond just human suffering, it's also a cost issue. That if you identify a colon cancer in early stages, it costs almost half as much as it does to treat a colon cancer that's found at a more advanced stage. So just as a societal cost level, it is appropriate to do this.
I've had most patients excited to be able to have the opportunity to be screened. A lot of these patients are very concerned. Some of them have had some mild symptoms, rectal bleeding, or a majority, actually, it's not been just pure screening, but a lot of these patients have been having some symptoms suggestive of maybe something going on, or nervous, worried about that, and they've been dwelling on this sometimes for months on end. But basically unable to afford, to have the screening done. So most of them is very positive, and certainly when they're waking up and I can tell them, say, hey, everything was normal, everything's good, it's a weight lifted off their shoulders, they can kind of get on with their lives and get back into action.
I think this program should continue because of the need for increased screening to decrease the incidence of deaths, mortality, and morbidity in colon cancers.
I think if this program expanded across the state of Kentucky, we would continue to see a decrease in the number of colorectal cancer deaths. We may see initially an increase in the number of colorectal cancers because we would be screening more patients, but the goal would be to decrease the amount of cancer we would find because we were getting rid of colorectal polyps before they have a chance to become cancerous. And that would be a great thing for the state of Kentucky.
I don't think there's a more important, with regards to whether it should continue or not, I don't think there's a more important program that we have available to our community at this point. When you think about preventable cancer deaths, colonoscopies near the top. When you think about the incidence of colon cancer, Kentucky is near the top. When you think about the rate of screening, we're doing a lot better since we developed the Colon Cancer Prevention Project. But when you think about whether we're screening our patients versus other states, we're not doing as well as all the other states, and we want to be number one because colon cancer is a disease that people don't have to die from.